All right, go.
In 5, 4, 3.
We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. F it.
What's up, everybody? Yeah, this is completely unscripted, as you know. I know we got a few people connected right now. All unscripted. But we're here to have a discussion. So thank you for joining us. It's me and my best buddy Rika here, who was the only person I could convince to join me on this. So, right. That's why we're best friends. So, we appreciate you guys stopping by, and yeah, let's start the discussion. Here's how it's gonna work. Oh, whoops. So here's our topic for the evening, right? We're here to talk about trending topics. And what's trending in Bermuda right now, or hot topics, is the marijuana legislation, the petition for the US flight ban, and someone suggested this topic. It's about the tourist-focused companies that are now trying to attract local business, and how they don't feel right about that because they haven't been treated very well. Or they feel Bermudans haven't been treated very well in the past when they focus on tourists. So there's going to be 10 minutes for each topic. We're not going to be here all day, don't worry. And feel free to type down there in the chat box if you have any questions. We'll do our best to answer them. Or even if you just have a comment, you want to tell us how bad we're doing, you can do that. Or if we get anything wrong, just let us know. So with that, let's start talking about marijuana in Bermuda. So, Rika, the big reason why I wanted you is because, listen, I don't have a whole lot of experience in this area. I don't know much about it, but I did a lot of reading in the last couple of days. I know I'm late because I think they already closed off the suggestion period, but okay. All right, we got one more day. But my whole point was I just looked through it real quick and I see like all these things that are wrong. Like I pointed out yesterday how you apply for a license and if they reject you, they keep the money. And people say, oh, that's how a lot of Bermudian department or government departments work right now. But I mean, if we look here, if you look at the Jamaican Cannabis Authority, I'm gonna bring it up right now. If you look at the Jamaican Cannabis Authority, they have a whole stipulation here where if you buy a cultivation license, or any license, right, actually, it's payable when the license is approved, not up front. So if it gets approved, you pay. If it gets rejected, you don't pay anything, right? What you think? Oh shoot.
Right now. and they're like, oh, well, maybe I could get in with this cannabis legislation. Maybe I can make some of this money back, or I could work for myself. They're going to use some of that pension and some of that benefit to try and push or fund their business. And if they're not going to get that money back, they're going to be SOL. And then it just goes to show that someone, I don't want to, put it as racist, but someone that is more financially free, they have no care in the world. They could lose that 20 grand or that 8 grand, and it's nothing. That's just a drop in the bucket to their savings. But for someone that's not financially free, I'm gonna need that money back.
This is it. Now, yeah, we're having some technical issues. Sorry, I just fixed the song. Sorry about that. And also, a bunch of stuff broke. Long story, a bunch of stuff broke like 5 minutes before this started. That's why we were late. But we're gonna soldier on. I'm gonna try to fix some of this stuff as we kind of go forward. Rika, I hate to tell you this, but some of that stuff you said just now was completely muted. I fixed it, but I think they caught most of it.
Thanks, Emma.
Sorry, everybody, but thank you all for stopping by. Even the chat box was broken, and we had tested all this stuff like 2 hours ago, and it was all working fine, and now everything broke. That's kind of heartbreaking. But anyway, soldiering on, we're gonna soldier on here because this is just our first go at it. And the other thing I wanted to bring up was well, I think I'm kind of losing focus because for me the biggest problem with the cannabis policy is just that it's so complicated, right? So, but at the same time, someone was making the argument that it has to be because you can't just have sweeping changes that allows everything for an industry that hasn't existed yet. But I don't know how I feel about that because marijuana, that most people agree, is pretty harmless. So
Yeah.
yeah, why
What
can't we just
what
open the
ODs do?
floodgates?
What overdoses do they have on record for marijuana or cannabis? If you want to be, grammatically correct, scientifically correct, I should say.
There is none, right? So
None.
I thought they were treated a lot like not even tobacco, but liquor. Have a liquor license authority. That's fine, but why does it have to be like, oh, you can only set up a marijuana shop? It can't be within a mile of a school or a church. Like that's ridiculous. You can't. That's unreasonable. Did they roll that back yet?
I do believe they rolled it back in regards to the churches, not the schools, because we all know our churches on like every corner in Bermuda. So I do believe they rolled that back, and they also included personal cultivation.
Okay. And do you know also, because I was looking at the licenses, so they have the transportation license, they have the import license, they have all these licenses. Can a single person get multiple licenses, or is it one license per person?
From what I read, it says one license per person.
Okay. And another question I had, which somebody brought up actually, is so you have like blunt wraps and stuff. Is this gonna allow for like cannabis wraps or anything like that? Or those types of like auxiliary products?
I don't know about cannabis wraps, but hemp wraps, they already exist. They're already sold here in Bermuda. I'm not sure about cannabis wraps, but hey, I don't know. But with hemp wraps, you still get the THC content and the CBD content as well, because hemp is high CBD, low THC, and cannabis is high THC and low CBD. So if you mix them together, I'm sure people are smoking now. So if you mix them together now or when the cannabis legislation gets rolled out, it's a good blend because those two blend well together, being that they are, sister plants in a sense.
I see. So in the interest of time, right? And that's a big subject, but just please remember this is our first show. We're just trying to get the training wheels on. So we're kind of gonna move it along to this next subject, right? Because I think this one is a little more current. So
Before we get over the cannabis legislation, I just want to, before the forum closes, I just want to encourage everybody to just go to the forum, make your comments, because I see a lot of comments on Facebook, people sharing posts, people commenting on the posts, and we need more of that, not on Facebook or social media, but more on the forum, so the government can make better changes that will affect or benefit more Bermudians rather than a select few.
right. Yeah, so go make your voice heard, people. You got one more day.
Forum.gov.bm.
Yeah, we should go look at that if we have more time, but let's keep it short. So next subject, the petition for the U.S. flight ban. So we had the first airline or commercial airline land in Bermuda earlier today, Air Canada. We don't mind Canada though. Canada's got their shit under control, but U.S. is a shit show, and this government seems intent on getting them in here and getting more tourists to save the season. But my opinion is, it's not worth the risk. Like I put a video out about it not too long ago, saying that I was gonna wait and see how things played out. Well, now that a month later and things have played out the way they are, with U.S. cases spiking in several states, I just don't see how we can say, oh, let's just allow U.S. to come in and we'll test them at the gate and everything will be fine. Like, I don't agree with that. I think they should slow it down, at least for another a month or two. Like the season's already gone,
I mean, I agree. I think we should have kept our borders closed a little longer. I do know that the tourism economy, they are suffering right now, and they're trying to reopen the borders and get more tourists in and stuff like that. But I think it's too risky right now. I feel like we have gotten our COVID-19 cases under control. I can't remember the last time it was actually a new positive case. But you're traveling. I do believe they have to get tested first before they fly, and then get tested again once they're here. But still, what if someone, before they fly, they get tested, is a false negative, or the asymptomatic, the on the flight, so the infected everyone on the flight, walking through the airport, you're infecting more people, and then people outside waiting in the parking lot to pick up other people. It's just, it's supposed to be social distancing, 6 feet apart, but we all know when we're at the airport and I'm picking up someone and I see my homegirl over there, she's picking up someone, I'm gonna go over there and chat, things like that. And it's just a breeding ground, I feel like.
So I don't know if you all seen the video. I'm gonna show them that video from that flight. So you sent this to me, actually.
So I'm down at the airport, and it looks like as the passengers.
So this is a taxi driver at the first flight that landed.
There's a blue tent right there where they test what they can do in the private.
Yeah, right. So he put out a couple different videos, but what I got from this is that it's ramshackle, right? It's like I'm not feeling very comfortable with what they're doing. They got all these people waiting at the gate, and people are coming through the gate, and then they're walking them over there, like outside to get tested. And then they just go off, walking through everybody. You don't know if they're infected or not. The results ain't come back yet. So if one of these people has a negative or positive result, How are we gonna know? Or what? By the time we figure it out, they're already contacted with like 100 different people. You know?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think they're supposed to stay quarantined until they get their results back. But hey, as far as I know, when the lockdown first started happening and Bermudians were coming back and they're supposed to be on quarantine or lockdown, a lot of people broke that. So unless you got 24-hour surveillance on these people or something, or you're giving them some ankle bracelets so you can monitor their movements and stuff. No, I feel like until at least, if you're talking about America, wait until they get their cases under control before we start opening up the borders back to the US. Because when coronavirus first came about, everyone shut their borders down to Asia and China.
Mhm.
So I feel like the same thing needs to happen.
So real quick, Tisha asking a question about how many passengers were on the flight. I don't know, honestly. I don't. Did you hear anything about how many it was?
No, I didn't. The last I checked, I saw where they're supposed to keep the middle aisle seat free.
And BJ Ford is saying that he brings up a good point too. What about the taxi driver that takes him to the hotel? That's exactly what I'm saying.
Exactly. And then not just the taxi drivers, the minibus operators and, other forms of transportation.
This is it.
It's a sticky situation, I feel like we should have waited personally and then go from there, because a lot of places in the world, including the US, they're not even opening up their borders until like late August, September.
Yeah. Canada's border still clears with the States. Europe said, no flights from America. Not passenger flights, commercial flights anyway.
I say treat the US like, I hate to, I don't want to sound bad, but treat the US like they treated China. Keep them out.
Janelle is asking, do our taxi drivers have rules to wear masks? They don't,
It's not mandatory?
Not in a car, no. Unless I'm not a taxi driver, it might be. If anybody knows, let us know. But last I heard, it was nothing about wearing a mask in a vehicle, even if you're a taxi driver.
What? If I was a taxi driver, I would have a mask. I would hire someone to put up the plexiglass that some people have up in their stores. No.
I thought they would have put up a fight like the bus drivers did, because the bus drivers were like, yeah, nothing you're saying makes sense, and we're not going back to work until it starts making sense. And they fixed it. But I feel like, but the bus drivers are getting paid either way. Taxi drivers, they're struggling. So they're probably just happy to take any passengers at this point.
Well, yes and no. I feel like people's got to feed their family and, take care of their business and things like that. But I don't know. Does that outweigh the health of your children or your family and things like that? You're going to make a quick $50 or so. You come down with the virus, God forbid you pass, then what's going to happen to your family then?
Oh, wait, I just got a message from somebody.
Okay.
Gina's saying that it's mandatory for taxi and bus drivers to wear masks. Thank you, Gina. I appreciate the correction. I was saying, I hadn't heard, or at least last I heard it wasn't, but I'm glad that I'm wrong on that.
That's good.
Hey, all about learning. Now, 10 minutes is up. Again,
10 minutes go pretty quick.
It does. Again, I apologize. We had so much more plans for this. It was supposed to be way fancier, but everything's broken. So if you guys tune in next time, it'll be a much better show. But for now, we're moving on to this third topic, and it's about tourists or companies that typically focus on attracting tourist business, or at least non-consumer business, are now shifting focus, trying to get us to come into their business, right? So I want to start this off with a story, right? Short one. I was drinking in town last week, and I saw that Red. You know, if you don't know Red, that's Rick Olsen's son that earns that. He's an asshole just like his father is. But they had a special, 2 pieces for the price of 1. I'm like, hey, I'm not turning that down. So I took a couple friends, we went up there, and we just felt uncomfortable the whole time, right? And I'm like, I don't care, I'll deal with it for pizzas. And got a couple drinks, whatever. And then, we got the food. I'm not gonna eat up there because I didn't feel like it. It was empty. I'm leaving, or we're all leaving. And then the Liverpool game was on, and they must have scored or something. So we just stopped for a second to see how they scored. And then the guy, the owner, I can't remember his name right now, he comes running down the stairs, like full sprint, to tell us that we gotta put our masks on or we gotta get out and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, is there really any need for that? And the whole reason I bring up this story is just like the person that suggested this topic to me, Sonia, I don't know if you're watching, I feel like these companies don't even know how to treat Bermudians no more. Because they've been chasing that tourist dollar or that expat dollar for so long. Now it's like we are dependent on Bermudian business. We're attracting them here, but we don't know how to keep them. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's like they're still treating us like we're savages or something. So my question is, what do you feel about that? About these companies? 'Cause good deals right now. I'm not gonna lie, but at the same time, I feel kind of a way about these companies not offering some of this stuff sooner. Like you could have been coming after. You could have been treating us properly sooner, and we would support you. But you want to wait till it's the 11th hour and you're struggling. You know?
Yeah. Well, that's what I was gonna say. If you're gonna have that same energy now, have that same energy after the pandemic and going forward. Because locals have been crying out for a long time for different industries, different hotels and stuff like that to give like local rates. I know some hotels do. I think Brother Bay does. I'm not sure, but a lot of them don't. And if they do give a local rate, it's not that much taken off. So I just say keep that same energy. If you need us now during a pandemic when there's no tourists coming in, then you're gonna need us when tourists come in. Like take care of him first before you take care of outside. And even I believe when the Black Lives Matter thing was going on in Bermuda, a few people made a post about different hotels and stuff that they work for, Bermudians that put in many years to get to a certain place, and then they're overlooked and had to train foreigners or people less qualified for them. And I feel like those same companies, whether they're trying to get locals now, no, like you didn't take care of my locals then, so don't even, now you're in need, don't worry about my local dollar now. I feel like just, support those who have either been doing it previously, given local rates, and those who continue to do it after the pandemic. I know a local Airbnb, they gave, I saw a post, I believe yesterday, go on Crown Point on Instagram. They have, I believe it's like $150 per person. They give you catered food, a Moroccan night. They have massages available. They have different services available, yoga and things like that while you're staying at this Airbnb. And I know from even before the pandemic, they always gave locals options and local rates and give different events for locals as well. So
Bro,
you want to check them out.
let me show you something. I didn't even know this place existed. I'm like, all these places are showing up out the blue all of a sudden. Like, what is this? Destination, they're offering 4 days and 3 nights for $150 a night in some Moroccan palace. I'm like, this is Bermuda?
Yes, that's Crown Point. That's actually what I was talking
Oh, that's what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like,
So
where the hell's this? Where's this been hiding?
they're actually like a concierge, Airbnb concierge. They have different homes that they manage for Airbnb and things like that. And they said they have these things often, actually. So even before the pandemic, they had certain events catered for locals.
Well, I'm going to look at some questions now. So, Sean's saying about the last topic, because that's not fair, because taxi drivers have to pay bills like everyone else. The government should have a support system in place. Yes, they should, but they don't. Yeah, they should. That's why a lot of people are praising PLP, and I agree. PLP's done a good job overall, but at the same time, I'm like, you had many years to plan for something like this, and you didn't. So you also have to hold that against them, unfortunately. But nobody will. And Wendell is saying hotels should have had a new local rate a few weeks ago. There's many Bermudans that had to put in vacation already who would love to change the scenery from being in the host past 3 months. I agree. Because go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I was just saying I agree, but I just hope that they keep with these local rates once the tourism industry picks back up after this pandemic. Keep the local rates. Like, I feel like a local rate should be in place, period.
I agree. I'm waiting for reefs to... Are they even open right now? Because they ain't said nothing this whole time. I like it up the reef.
I don't know.
Anyway, Aisha, your teacher agrees with you that local rates are still expensive. Aisha, the terrace has been offering specials for a long time. They do Taco Tuesday and 50-cent wing Wednesday. Okay. I never saw the pizza one though, because they started advertising that on Facebook. I know they were doing Taco Tuesdays and stuff, and the wings, but I never saw the 2-for-1 pizza. That's why I went up there. And I like some of the staff up there. Like, I don't mind the staff. It's mostly just the atmosphere and the owner. You know, he acts just like his father. And I don't think, a lot of people call his father racist. I don't think it's racist. I just think he's an asshole. And his son treats people the exact same way. You know?
I don't know. He's made racist remarks, so... Okay.
Yeah. It's whatever. Yeah. They're not my people.
If it walks like a duck and it cracks like a duck, it's a duck.
True. And they're not my social circle, so whatever. Anyhow, so the 30-minute mark, we got 14 people watching. See, thank you all for showing up, by the way, for clicking on the link and for coming to support us on our little endeavor. I apologize for the technical difficulties. Like I said, there was supposed to be a whole lot more to this. It's supposed to be like polls and, you know, shit on the screen. But if you get a chance, hit that like button. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel. There will be more. Anything you want to leave with, Rika? Or
just, you know, back on the cannabis thing, don't forget to go on forum.gov.bm, leave your comments or like comments, and check out Natural Mystic _BDA. They sell the hemp blunts and stuff that we was talking about, that we was referring to. So just want to, you know, let people know where to find those if they're interested. And check out Crown Point, that's up on the screen as well, with the Moroccan Nights.
Nothing else you want to plug?
No, thanks everyone for sitting here and listening to us and commenting. Sorry for Umar's technical difficulties.
No, but let me show you. If anybody cares, like, oh my god, this screen was supposed to have the whole chat thing right there, but then Rika's face was off center because I had to rebuild it in the 10 minutes before this started. And I didn't build it right. And then it was supposed to be stuff at the bottom, like pools. Here, look, I was going to start a pool. Let's see. It's not going to work. Yeah, it's going to have pools that you could vote on in Madness.
Well, maybe next time we could revisit some of these topics. Maybe definitely the cannabis legislation, being that hasn't, until that gets billed or, you know, passed. And, yeah, maybe we could revisit some of these topics and, you know, have it official with your pools and chat or however you set it up.
What's funny is the pool actually works. Unbelievable. Unreal.
Give him a rating, everyone.
All right, everybody. Well, we're going to cut it here, but I hope you stick around. And maybe next week we'll do another one.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.
Bye. I'll let you watch the intro again if you missed it.
All right, go.
In 5, 4, 3.
We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.